everybody. It's 7 o'clock. We're going to call the meeting to order. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we get going, I just have a couple of kind of announcements. First, I want to offer, on behalf of the board, sympathy to the family, friends, colleagues, and students of Brian Greenfield. He will definitely be missed by everybody. And I also want to wish speedy recovery to Maggie Ains, who's recovering from some serious injuries from an accident. So I want to offer, on behalf of the board, those notes. I also just want to run through the open houses that are coming up in case anybody wants to try and make any of them. We have Clarendon is Monday. The open house, 8/24. The open house is from 6:30 to 7, but they have a barbecue before that. So I'm sure if anybody wanted to attend that. Tinmouth is on Wednesday, August 26th, 4 to 5:30. I'm trying to go in order here. Shrewsbury is September 15th at 6:30. Wallingford is September 28th at 5:30. And Mill River is September 24th. What is it? What do I have here? What time is it? Open house. I'm not sure what time it is, but if you go to the district calendar on the Mill River website, they're all there.
Can I just add one thing as well, too?
Yeah.
If you decide to go to Clarendon, you can go to the barbecue, and then in Wallingford, they are doing, they do an ice cream social. So you can go have your dinner, and you can go have an ice cream.
Yeah.
But seriously, I know that they would be happy to see you there.
Okay, so Kim, will you just announce your presence, please?
Yes, Kimberly Williams. I am a representative from Shrewsbury.
Okay, any other board members on? I'm guessing some will join us shortly. If you guys can let me know and I can get them to announce themselves. Okay, approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Rich is second. Anybody have any?
I don't know if we just want to change Transact, other legal business to item 12, et cetera, to
Oh, yeah, we got a little,
consistency.
we added something in there. Okay, yep. Okay. All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Public input, sir, did you want to address the board?
Yeah, is there any place special you want me to stand?
Right there, wherever you're comfortable.
I actually have something for you.
Okay.
It's a copy of what I'm going to read.
Oh, okay.
I'm writing as a Tinmouth resident and parent of a 7th grade student at Mill River Union High School. I'm reaching out to formally request a mileage reimbursement arrangement for the 2026-2027 school year. I understand the district has a bus driver shortage. The commute from our home to Mill River High School is 22 miles one way. Likewise, from our house to the Tinmouth Mountain School for a bus pickup is a 13-mile commute from our house. While I understand and empathize with the driver shortage, a 13-mile trip to a bus stop or a 22-mile trip to the high school places a financial, logistical, and time burden on our family. Driving these distances twice a day, especially during the winter, possesses significant safety concerns as well as major strain to our work schedules. I would also like to state that as a taxpayer, I should not have to pay an out-of-pocket penalty because I live in a rural area. If this request is denied, I request a written decision why the above mileage is deemed reasonable, because if this is deemed reasonable, this impacts rural taxpayers over village taxpayers disproportionately. I am including a map to show the way that I got my mileage data, and I would like to thank you for your time, and I hope we can come to an agreement on this matter.
Okay, and your name is?
Joseph Sumner.
Thank you,
I'm
Joseph.
sorry, could you repeat that? Joseph Sumner,
Sumner.
Sumner.
I can pass this around, people want to look at it, and then we'll get the map. Okay, so, any other public input? Okay, any discussion of the public comment? Does anybody have any discussion of that? Any board members?
I just feel like I need to educate myself more about the mileage policy, because that's very compelling. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I just need to study up on it.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm not saying anything doesn't mean
Right, no,
Yeah,
no,
thoughts
no.
about it.
No, I
Just
didn't,
study
I
it.
didn't expect any action on it, because I understand that anything you guys take
Exactly.
action on has to be warned and everything. It was
Exactly.
just, I wanted to come and put that forth so that we could get it on the table and maybe discuss it, because it is a long ways, it's 40 minutes.
Well, we appreciate that you did your homework
Okay,
and
thank you.
presented a rational case.
Thank you.
That's more than always happens.
And thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming out, appreciate it.
Thanks for driving all this way.
Thanks for driving 22 miles. All right. Okay, approval of the minutes from August 5th. Have a motion to approve the minutes. And is there a second?
I'll second.
Gray, second. Any changes or? I looked at them, they looked okay to me, but. Give everybody a moment if you hadn't had a chance to review them.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm having a hard time hearing at times.
Okay, it's probably us, because the microphone is far away and.
We can change that.
But that's not her microphone.
It's not her
that's Will's.
microphone, hers is on the,
Oh, it's that one.
yeah,
Okay.
so I'll try and,
And yet she's really loud. So like,
Yeah, you're really loud.
Yeah, you're 5 by 5, which is nice.
all right. Okay, motion to approve the minutes. Rich, second. Great, oh, I think we already did
We had the
that.
motion.
Sorry.
You were calling the vote.
All right, call the vote. All in favor? Okay, any opposed? All right. Unanimous. Okay, board goals. I hope you all had an opportunity. I did send out a revised draft revisions. Is there anybody who doesn't have access to that right now?
Is that these?
yes.
Yes, I think so, yep. So, what I tried to do was just take the conversation that we've had before and kind of, but this is, kind of put it into these goals. Two things. One was to simplify and not have quite as many indicators under each one. And the other was to focus our community engagement around merger talks. So, I might have changed a little bit of wording, but I don't think I made any major changes other than strive to engage the community through. Go ahead, Matt.
What was the date of that email, just so I can pull it up real quick?
Okay, it was yesterday, I think, at some time. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would have been.
But it
nice.
was like I replied all to the
Rebecca Kern.
Rebecca's board
Yep.
material, so if you just go down, click the
All right.
reply on that, then there's some more materials.
Gotcha.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay.
Carol, what is being asked of us right now? Just to look it over?
Just to
or-
look it over, I think we'll put it back on the agenda for the next meeting, and then maybe finalize something at that
Can
meeting.
I request a non-substantive change?
Sure.
Just the second bullet point, as we're working toward the comments, the board will, rather than continue to work to support staff through, why can't we just continue to support staff?
Continue to support staff, yeah? Okay. Actually,
Rich?
I am going to go to
the-
that.
First bolded, the last bolded line there, continue to work to support staff through, and then we have the ways we'll do that. I don't know that we need to work to support staff through, we can just
Just,
support
we
staff.
can just support staff. Okay. change.
So I'd just like to offer the comment that I really like this. It's short and to the point, and it gets the idea across without delving too far into becoming procedure versus policy. And I don't know, I think it's well done.
Okay. Any other, I've got it up so I can change anything that people want to. So, I did change support safe and orderly facilities through, and I think this can be worded better, but consider community input regarding facilities priorities. It had invite the community, and I don't know, I just think, even if they don't come to a meeting, like we just had this gentleman tonight, you know, just anything any parent brings to us that has anything to do with facilities, or in this case, it's not facilities, it's another word that I can't think of, that we consider it. Yeah, that we consider everything that people bring to us, if
Agreed.
that makes sense.
And in that following discussion, can we also just consider changing the vision statement very slightly to, again, remove the preposition to discover and make it and discover?
All right, we talked about that.
I would love that.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so what we'll do is, at our next meeting, we will take action on these to approve them, I guess, is what we need to do, accept them. And if you think of any other changes, please feel free to email me on that. Okay. Any other questions or comments about the goals, board goals? Everybody good? Okay, do we have any other board members who've joined us? No. Okay, sorry, Kim, I was talking to myself.
She didn't say anything important.
Nothing important. Okay, district improvement plan, I'm going to turn it over to Cheryl.
Me, okay. Going to share my screen. Okay, so I can't make it any bigger.
Not even on there.
I can make it bigger on my own, but it won't do anything there. But
We have it.
you do have it online. So I want to start that this has been almost a year-long process. We've done surveys of all of our stakeholders. We've had, all stakeholders were invited to participate and help us create the improvement, the priorities, and then the goals. What I'm looking for at the end of this is I would like board approval of this, because I would like to be able to say it's been approved by the board. So a lot of all of our information came from surveys, from students, from parents, from faculty, and whatever stakeholder group I'm missing right now. But we did put it out to everyone. We had a fairly good response from certain groups and not as much from other groups. So I did have parents, but I also sent it out to the communities as well. So we came up with 3 priorities, and the priorities are going to direct us, they are directing us right into our goals. The first one for me, for all of us, is academic excellence. We are an educational institution. We have to strive to improve academics. Can't be our whole thing, but that's important. And we know that reading and math are really our gateway skills that lead students to everything else. So we're looking at that. We also are looking at belonging and well-being. We did hear a lot from students about concerns with other students disrupting their classes or unkind behavior happening. We want to make sure that our students feel safe and that our families feel safe. We also want our students to have a voice. And then we're looking at engaging learning for every student. We need rigor, we need relevance, we need to be looking at the future, hands-on learning. And balanced technology use is specifically for the elementary schools, as all the principals indicated that they wanted to make sure that we were using the technology and the technology wasn't driving our instruction. So we're very much focused on that. So all of these things turned into three goals, right? So the first one, we're looking at, like I said, strengthening our students' performance in literacy and in math. And these are why this goal is there, and then you see what actions we will take, as well as how we will know that we've had success. Please feel free to interrupt me. I hate the monologue, but I do, and I don't want to read it to you, but I also want to make sure that you know, are aware of what we're doing. The second one is fostering belonging, safety, and a positive school culture. And this is where there was a lot of students' responses saying, we want our students by the end of spring of the upcoming year to have more students saying, I feel like I belong at my school. I feel respected by other students. And this is a big one. I have at least one trusted adult in the school. Doesn't need to be a teacher. It needs to be an adult in this school. Sometimes students will connect with a custodian or a cafeteria staff member, but every child should have one adult that they feel has their back, for lack of a better word. And so our surveys did find that there's concerns about peer interactions, bullying, exclusion, disrespect. And then many students did report positive relationships with adults, but then some students said they felt unheard, unsupported, or that things were inconsistent. This aligns directly with Tinmouth behavior goals, Wallingford's behavior goals. Clarendon is doing a family engagement goal. Shrewsbury is looking at increasing their participation, and MRU is looking at attendance. This all aligns perfectly, and it moves us right in the same direction, right? This is what we heard that we need to do better on, where we are. And then the final goal is about the healthy and balanced learning environments. Again, this is just elementary, because we're trying to reduce screen time while increasing opportunities for hands-on, collaborative, and experiential learning. Our students did identify that this is what they want. They want hands-on learning. They do like direct instruction, right? And direct instruction, as the educators in the room know, has a very high effect size if it's used appropriately. Go ahead.
What is non-instructional screen time, and why would we want any of it?
So there are games that students use. We also have our.
Wouldn't they be instructional?
If they're in school?
If they're in school. So I'm going to think about that. To me, non-instructional was when we have, we're putting students on it, potentially without clear instructional or objectives, is what I'm looking at. I want, if a student is on the computer, there needs to be a clear instructional objective.
Okay, then.
So why, yeah.
You want to reduce that. I think, wouldn't we want to eliminate that?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to reduce, what's an acceptable level?
Right. Well, and we are working on a rubric with the elementary schools as to how we're going to roll out to the staff that a student there needs to be a purpose for it. Like, there's certain times we have to go on the computer, we have to do our testing on the computer, both our local and our state testing. And it's really about, I think I am going to revise that, because the wording for me, what I'm thinking more of is I want people to make sure that we have clear learning objectives when we put the kids on the computer, not just because this is what we do, right?
I would like to back up what both of you are saying, which is that's a perfect litmus test. If this isn't advancing some sort of lesson plan, it has no place in the school.
Right.
I mean, they can do games online.
Well, but we do have instructional games, and the kids love
No,
them.
but that advances your
Right,
lesson.
it does advance our lesson.
So that, I don't think that's.
And part of our curriculum does
contradiction.
have an online component.
Yeah.
And so, just with that, and then I didn't see it here, but you mentioned it. Oh, here it is. No, it is right here. screen time for, and then you bold elementary students.
Yes.
I hate for anybody to interpret that we're okay with the non-instructional screen time for high school and middle school students.
Right.
I mean, I just, why not them as well? And in my mind, especially them.
So the way we've been talking about it in the leadership team is about intentional screen time, and I wonder if maybe that was just a typo.
Right. That I read 15 times and.
Yeah, because we've been talking about intentional versus unintentional screen time, about the idea of putting students on something like IXL or like math games that do teach skills, but maybe are not the most effective use of that instructional time, versus being really intentional about technology use. Will the technology increase the student's achievement with that content, or does it not, like, compared to using paper and pen? So really, like, instead of just going to it, because sometimes it can be
Sorry.
easier. No worries.
So technology never disrupts.
Yeah, so I think that's what Cheryl meant to write, was intentional. So what we're trying to do is be much more intentional. Because, you know, we've even seen instances where teachers have scanned a paper into the Google Classroom to keep it more organized for students. And we understand the why, but we really want to say, like, if they're using a screen, there's got to be a reason it makes it better.
Right. And I want to be clear, you're the professional, and
Yeah.
but I'm asking, but everything I've read this summer on this, I've seen studies that suggest that screen time is overused and unproductive in K-12 education. I've not seen studies that are showing that screen time is increasing or improving student outcomes. And I know that we're going to come, I guess, October, I don't know when it is, we're going to approve money for funding more screens and part of that. And I want to have some inclination that by doing that, we're actually furthering goal one here, improving student achievement in literacy and mathematics.
So this is a really deep, long conversation that maybe would even be like a fun educational session for the board about
I would
like
love that.
about where we choose to use technology intentionally and where we don't. But we use evidence-based technology. And what we're trying to do is pull away from, just like we have over the last 5 years with curriculum, have said, like, please don't just pull off the internet a worksheet you find. Please use our evidence-based curriculum. That's where we're currently trying to go with technology. If we have an evidence-based, intuitive program that is going to naturally level the math problem or the comprehension question based on where a student is, and we know that the teacher is really closely watching, that does make sense. But those studies are really just showing overall, right? So what we want to do is we want to pull away from, okay, now go practice on your computer, which is not as intentional.
Right, which we do see, right? And I also think, you go, Greg.
Well, I want to just back up Rich's point. First of all, what you say totally makes sense. Instead of just random worksheets, make sure whatever the screen time is, it's measurably contributing to a specific academic goal. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, I think that this should be for all K through 12, everybody. And it's actually more important. I mean, it's important for all of them for different reasons. Let's put it that way. But I think highlighting just elementary is not doing justice to middle and high school, because it's become pretty apparent that managing screen time in schools at every level it's a complicated thing to figure out, because on the one hand, we want our students to be computer literate. You have to be. We want to take advantage of that technology as a learning tool.
Right.
But controlling it is the tricky part.
In this case, it's really it's a systemic choice. Over the summer, Eric is starting his leadership without an AP, and he's starting ground zero, sorting himself out. All of these elementary principals have been working together for years and years and years, and are ready to take this on as their primary goal. right? So in education, leaders cannot do 20 things at once. And so it was really being thoughtful about what, as a brand new principal, can Eric's number one goal be? If that makes sense.
It does, but I don't see why we can't have it set as a goal for K through 12. I mean, I know Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right.
Well, yeah, not to interrupt, so if they
okay.
took, if you took the word elementary out of the district goal, and then set elementary schools as your priority, for the reasons Jody said, that, and I also think, like, you have, I'm just thinking elementary school kids, especially, you know, the younger grades, it's easier to kind of monitor and control their screen time, whereas high school kids, you know, they have study halls, they have, you know, I'm just, but because the actions are establish district screen time guidelines for elementary schools, that's a good action for the first year. And then what Jody is saying, then maybe next year, you focus on the high school.
And
Sure.
that was more along our lines of thinking, is starting with the elementary, because they were on board with
Yeah.
it. And we know, like, we're seeing research that's showing that we do need to reduce it for our younger kids for reading, and there's something about using that hand-eye coordination.
And the encoding of information that
Yes.
comes with writing.
Writing it out.
Yes. And one of the things that, for me, for the high school level, is that we use, a lot of our students don't use it, it's not just for instruction, but they're like online notebooks in a way, so to speak, where they've got Google Classroom, right? So it's in there and it keeps them organized. And I wouldn't want people to get rid of that. But we are looking at instruction K-12.
Okay, but what I loved about it's a cool little sheet that you put together. What I loved about, as I went through the goals too, they seem to be self-reinforcing, right? That fostering belonging and safety creates an atmosphere where kids can learn. You know, and creating a healthy, balanced learning environment also then supports improving academic, that they're all connected. And just to see that gap for the high school, to me, just kind of stood out as sort of a,
Okay.
And I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I mean, I get that you have to set a priority, and it's, you know, it's a multi-year process to address this. But in a way, Carol, what you said about how the high school students, you know, they have study halls, they are less controlled, which in a way implies that it needs to be more controlled in the school. So I don't disagree with the notion of concentrating on the elementary school to start with, but I don't think that's incompatible with stating a long-term goal for all students. So, my 2 cents worth.
but I interrupted you, I'm sorry.
Me?
Yeah, you
Oh,
were,
no,
you
no,
were
I'm
going
not-
through the third
Oh, I
goal.
can't remember what I was
Oh,
No, you were in third goal.
No, but I want you to. I'm thinking now, right? Like, my priority was for the elementary, right? With the idea that we start getting that and then we continue forward without impacting curriculum. But I'm thinking right now.
Okay, so,
Thank you.
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Please go ahead.
Oh, I was just wondering, Kim has her
Kim.
hand up. Okay, Kim, hang on. I was just wondering, is there a way to monitor, this is a whole probably different ball of wax, but the amount of time kids are spending online or on particular programs through the technology? I know you guys have
Yeah.
ways to monitor. Is there a way to get data on, you know, how much time different programs are being used? I don't know if it's possible, but, you know, I mean, like on my iPad, I can get your weekly,
Yes.
you know, usage was this many, I won't say hours per week, but, you know, is there some, because I had asked Cheryl this before, actually, about what kind of data do we have that connects, you know, technology usage with achievement? Is
Yeah.
there any data that BJ could pull out of the servers, or I don't know, the, you know, that you could kind of just monitor, I guess, in a more objective way, rather than just observation. And so anyway, that's my thought. But Kim?
Yeah, if I talk like this, is it a normal
Yes.
level
sound
for you
great.
all? Okay. Yeah, I'm like thinking a lot about what Jody said about it being Eric's first year, and that we do have time to tackle this, like if this feels like a priority for a future year. So I kind of am encouraging Cheryl and the team to leave it as is. I think maybe it would be more effective just to see how it goes for the elementary school, and what learnings that we find from that. And then we can always kind of encourage it to be a priority in the future. But I don't want to overwhelm, if we ask too much with the goals, then they might become kind of diluted,
Yes. And I just want to add too, like, what I look at is for his goals in the building, is we need to get a handle on attendance. We need to get a handle on teaching and learning, and strategies that are being used. So I think we need a baseline before we could say we're going to reduce. That was kind of our thinking.
Okay.
Which I'm not opposed to bringing it later, but our focus was really,
But, I mean, I'm just taking your words here, non-instructional screen time. I can't imagine that reducing that wouldn't be
good for
ideal.
everyone. So I changed it to non-intentional instead of instructional, because I think that makes better sense.
Well, I guess my issue with it is in that top line, the district goal, having the word elementary in there. And I get it that we don't want to overload Eric, that we're talking about a multi-year process as we figure out what works and what doesn't. And I would be very comfortable with you start out all elementary schools identified. So that's right off the bat is prioritizing elementary schools for now.
Right.
I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's a good goal. I think it should apply to all students as a long-range goal, but that doesn't preclude prioritizing for this year just elementary. So,
And I am willing to add why this goal, all elementary schools identified reducing screen time as a priority, a sentence that we would add, something with the intent of,
down the road in the future.
yes.
Sure.
Down the road, expanding it to the secondary.
And by all of that, I don't want to get lost in the point. These are wonderful. This is terrific. And it's exciting because they seems to be a reasonable set of goals
Cohesive.
and things that I would support if you didn't change any of this. I'm just,
But I do want your feedback on it. I think that's really important to get the feedback. And I'm proud of all the people that participated with it.
and once it gets board support, are you guys going to do like a crosswalk to see where this happens in the curriculum?
I haven't gotten to that point yet with it. My next step would be to introduce this to the staff. I would imagine we will. And then I also want to introduce this to the community. I do plan on having like a community night saying, come on out to Mill River and see what our goals are for this year.
I have very little doubt you're going to hear about screen time.
Well, good. Yeah, I mean, it is,
Oh, you will. Every parent I talk to
yeah.
talks about it.
I will say, though, that, I mean, about the screen time, that, I don't know what's your experience, but what I hear from my community is I don't hear any parents anywhere having any, they're all very clear that less screen time is desirable. I don't, and it's funny because there was the whole cell phone, we thought there was going to be a lot of pushback.
I knew they would.
There was
do that.
almost none.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is I think the good news for you is that you have the support of the community on this, like
Yeah.
150,000%.
As you develop the policy.
And maybe as we, get into the school year, and like maybe this is something that Eric would want to start doing with his secondary as well. But we both really do feel that, and by both I mean Jody and I, that there are more pressing things that I want him to.
Well,
that
absolutely.
We need him to focus on.
You guys have to set
and
the
have him get a
priorities.
baseline for what's going
And
on.
I'm
in
not,
the
just to
building.
be clear, I'm not questioning that
Oh,
whatsoever.
I know that.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, and listen, I've got a thick skin. I am not offended by feedback.
I have a separate question, and it's really a dumb question. Direct instruction, is that the teacher standing in front of the class instructing? So it's just like it sounds?
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure that it wasn't some.
And there's criticism of it, which is justified, but direct instruction done well has a very high impact on student learning.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead,
I
Matt.
was just gonna say, I got 3 kids kind of spread out through the grades. And I'm more worried about my kids' screen time at home than I am at school. Like, I never have my kids say like, oh, we spent too much time on it. I don't know. I guess I didn't even know that they were spending too much time on screens in school. So, like, to me, it's a low priority in my head as a parent. I think that there's bigger items we could tackle.
And
Sorry, I don't know how to word that exactly.
No,
I'm
and that's
kinda,
fine.
like,
So one of the things that I've seen happen since COVID, everything was online, right?
Right.
And so we start seeing things that get put online, a worksheet.
Yep.
Like, and it's online, but it's still a low-level worksheet,
Right.
right? Like, to me, that's not technology use.
Right.
So let's be thoughtful when we use technology. There
Right.
are some, especially in math and reading, when they adapt to how the student responds, and some of them are gamified, we do see incredible, the students do grow from it. They learn from it. They like the challenge. They like the game of it. It's gamified.
Yep.
But we also have to make sure they also need that teacher, and then doing it on paper and figuring it out. And also figuring it out with their peers, right? Having student-to-student discourse and discussing, academic arguments, even if it's third grade, it's gonna be at a different level, but academic arguments as to how they got to that, explain their reasoning. Why is this the right answer, and so forth. So, like, it's the balance, right? Because when you're on when you're on the screen, you're alone.
Yep. I do agree that there's got to be a good balance. I guess what I'm saying is it takes more than just a school to cut down on screen time. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
if
that's
if
for
the
sure.
community wants it that bad, then we need to be doing that at home also. Because I'll admit, my kids are on screens more than I'd like. So we're working on cutting that back. So, takes a community.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Well, and I think the point of what you guys are saying here is to make sure that whatever screen time we have, little, small, medium, or large, is pointing towards a specific measurable goal.
Right.
And I think that's the way it needs to be.
And as I think through this in my head, this goal is elementary, and our goal is to reduce, right? But we expect district-wide that when you're using technology, that there's a very clearly articulated instructional purpose for it. What are students supposed to learn, and are they learning it? Or is this not a good use of technology?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I just, based on your comment, I'm just thinking, somehow, the district needs to help parents and the community to talk with their kids and handle with their kids that screen time
At
as
home.
well. Yeah, at home, yeah. And I think it's easy for kids to come home and say, well, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
And, okay, they go and do that, whatever that may be. And it may not necessarily have to happen that way. And I think what support the schools can give the parents to help them control that screen time as well. I think that would be, you talk about reaching out to the community, that's one of the ways we can do it.
That may be a little bit of outreach to thank you, Matt, actually, for saying that.
Yeah.
But outreach to parents,
Right.
too, about, no screens in bedrooms, like the tangible things that people have come up with. Because, this is honestly probably the biggest educational issue of this generation. and how to manage it, and we're all learning as we go.
Yeah.
But maybe the parents need to be educated too. I think they're pretty receptive, most of them are to it.
Well, and the problem is that attendance is a clear-cut issue.
Right.
We know what we want, everybody can wrap their heads around that. Screen time is trickier.
Yeah, I wrote down, what does screen time mean?
What does it mean, right?
What does it mean? What is screen time?
Is watching a
And
movie
again,
screen time?
when you're talking with not just parents, but grandparents who are taking care of kids and stuff, and I'll speak for myself here, I don't know what screen time means, you know? I don't. The only time I'm on the screen is when I'm doing board stuff. So I think whatever support and help we can give to the community to support these goals
As they learn.
would be helpful.
Okay, anybody else? I'm going to, so do we want to make a motion to, I guess, approve these goals for Cheryl? Or do we want to wait until the next meeting and see, and ponder them with our people?
Can we approve with the recommended amendment? Or is that not?
Well, I think we can table it and she can bring it back and just say.
Well, I liked what the sentence you made the offer of adding an additional phrase. And I know you also asked for board support tonight. Is it possible for us to approve the goals on the understanding that Cheryl's going to add some sentence that kind of reflects the concerns that we brought up about including K through 12 at some point? Because I don't want to
For
say
me,
no.
yes, it's good.
I don't want to say no. You asked for it. It's great, and I want to be
All
able to
right,
give it to you.
so why don't you make a motion?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the district improvement plan with the addendum that Cheryl is going to add a sentence or phrase that expands the notion of studying and reducing screen time for all students in the district, or words to that effect.
Yes.
Okay, is there a
And I
second?
need a little bit to figure
I'll
out.
second
No,
that.
of course.
Okay, Lenny seconded. I think we've had a lot of discussion. Does anybody have any further discussion? I don't want to cut it out, but I think we discussed. Go
And
ahead.
I think this is consistent with the spirit of Cheryl's request, but I think in voting this and knowing that there'll be that language change, it's support. What I think we're approving is not but showing a resolution of support
Support.
for the,
Which is fine as well.
for the superintendent's goals. And I would be all in favor of that.
Okay. All right. Going to call the question. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
Stephen needs to introduce.
Stephen, will you announce yourself just so people know you're online with us?
Hi,
Oh, you're muted. Oh,
Technology, gotta love it.
He doesn't know, we didn't hear him.
oh, we didn't hear you because you were on mute.
sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, so will you just announce yourself?
Yep, Stephen Abatel from Shrewsbury.
Okay, welcome. Glad to see you. All right. Review the yearly board calendar, which I think
Carol shared it with you, but I also want to let you know, in my superintendent's report, what I'm trying to do for you is to organize things. So I put links in there because I personally find it very difficult to have all these different sheets. So if you do look in it, it's the second in the superintendent's report. It says 2026-27 board meetings.
everybody have access to it?
I hope so.
Okay, yes, it looks like we do.
Some of us have pieces of paper.
Yeah, Lenny likes to use his printer.
So when, like, for example, April 21st, elementary Shrewsbury, that means we're meeting at Shrewsbury.
Yes.
Okay,
And that Shrewsbury will present to you.
great.
Now,
Okay.
I just want to say, last year, what I did is, and this was prepared by Brian, I used this as a guideline, and so did Carol, like what we had to do, because there's legal requirements or things per policy that we have to bring. But you are free to change and add, and even if you decide on what you want, it doesn't mean you can't add something to the agenda, or that you say, you know, I'd like to invite so-and-so. Because like our next one, if you see, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but Stephen, we're gonna look at a budget calendar that I'm gonna put forward. And looks like Jody will present on our board policy G1, which is curriculum and professional development.
And then we have stuff that comes up, but this makes sure, I mean, I know one of the concerns that was brought up was that we weren't getting enough presentations from teachers, and a couple of them we scheduled and it didn't work out, so that's going to happen. But this will, so if you have any other areas that you think we should ask for presentations on, you know, just let Cheryl or me know, and we'll try and fit it in somewhere. So I don't think there's any approval. This is, I think, an information only. Unless someone feels like we need to take an action.
I know I have to take an action, which is to print it and put it on below my calendar at my house.
Yeah, there you go. And then you have all the dates.
Yeah.
That would, yeah. Okay, next is a CESA update. And I'm going to turn that over to Cheryl as well.
Okay. So the committee met for the first time. Long and short of it, we have more questions than we have answers. We did have both Carol and Rich attended. I opened my mouth and ended up being the vice chair.
Oh, no. You got hornswoggled.
But so we are moving forward at our next meeting, which is September, it's the third Friday in September. So we are required by law to meet 4 times per year. There's no way that there can be any movement with that. We are meeting monthly. And the first thing we're doing is we're looking at the bylaws. So a small subcommittee will bring the bylaws to us, and then we will create bylaws. We also talked a lot about regional asset mapping. And this is where we really have a lot of questions. What assets are we looking at? Or like, how can we best leverage what this one has and that one has? So there's a lot of questions, and one of the things that really resonated with me was we don't even know who to ask for the answers. And that was a struggle. The other thing that we were unanimous on is that we are expected to hire an executive director. We've been given $15,000 for training, which has to include, we need to set up a website, we need to have a communications person, all kinds of things. We were given $50,000 for an executive director. We're trying, once we find out who to ask, we're going to ask if that funds can stay over to the following year. We did decide that we're putting that position on hold because we don't have any answers. And budget season is coming up, and it was unanimous among the superintendents that we are not comfortable going to our communities and saying, by the way, I know we're doing these CESA to save money, but I need $50,000, $20,000. So we put it on hold because it's just not right at this point.
The executive director would be directing what?
The whole CESA program. But that's the point. We're not even at a place where.
Right, and they're budgeting $50,000 for that?
Right.
I know.
And they're giving us that money for this first year.
That's like a half of an executive director.
Kimberly.
Kim, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just curious, a reminder of who is in our region, and then like how many of these across the state?
There are 7 across the state. I don't know, I would tell you superintendent names, not necessarily
The
their
whole
districts.
Southwest,
Yeah.
like from Rutland all the way down to Bennington, is one CESA.
So would there theoretically be 7 executive directors then? One for
Correct.
each? So
Correct.
each,
Because they would run it. So the idea behind it is that we have this CESA, we pay to be in the CESA, we pay again when we need the services, but then we can, the idea is to eliminate, it's like a cost savings. So if we need professional development, we can purchase in that. We can combine, not that I would do this, but like IT support. It could actually be a regional IT. Some of them were talking about communications directors, and like, we don't have that here.
But-
And did you want to jump in, because you guys were there?
Well, first off, I find it like a Schrodinger's cat. We were talking about this organization, which I still can't, and I didn't see anybody around the table who can clearly articulate what it is. I saw that there's a VSBA training for this, and they suggested they were having the Vermont Learning Collaborative.
It was last week, but
And
you can get it.
I went to their website, read all the About Us, then I read it to my wife, because I'm like, am I so stupid that I do not understand after reading this what they do? And she didn't understand it either, so at least I felt a little.
Well, if you want to get a clear, muddy view, go to VSBA, and there was a webinar last Thursday, and the executive director of it's not called a CESA there, but
It's the-
Southeast region has formed one.
Right, and that's the Vermont Learning.
And that's what they're doing. They're doing the professional development. That's their only.
But how often do we save money
yeah.
by creating a new?
I was about to say, so we spend
bureaucracy?
$350,000, that's 2 superintendents. I'm sorry, maybe I'm missing something here.
No.
No.
You're exactly.
I mean, that just seems like insanity.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead, Lynn.
And I have a question, because I'm confused, I'm sorry. I read, Cheryl, in your superintendent's report, that the state has named a coordinator.
Yes.
Okay, so,
And he would direct the 7 executive directors. Oh, no, I'm
Oh,
getting
no, that's for
confused.
the merger
No, that's
committee.
for the merger
A
committee.
facilitator.
is that a different thing?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And that was our other concern as superintendents, is that we could create
That's David Youngs?
we could create a CESA, right? And we could say, we're going to do this. And then a merger committee comes up and says, no, Wallingford, you're going in this place here.
So all that work could just be for nothing?
All that work is for nothing.
So is the thought that sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I just want to wrap my brain around this. I'm like a business person. Is the thought that this executive director, first of all, that would be their only job?
Yes.
It's not like you taking it on as an extra responsibility?
No, there's still a lot of responsibility on the superintendents, but they would be.
So for $50,000, we're going to get a professional level person that will be their only job?
Right.
Okay, I just want
And
to make
that
sure I
includes-
understood that.
I don't think that the legislature or whoever decided $50,000 was the amount, expected that to be the whole amount. I think that was like seed money for all of the districts, to throw more money in, to hire an executive director, to organize everything that has to do with being part of a CESA. There's financial stuff, there's hiring, there's benefits, there's, all of that, and then decide what services are needed, because let's talk about business, okay? That's one of the areas, business finance. We don't need to,
We have a business manager.
for as long as we have one. So, and Rutland City is the same way. They're like, I've talked to Cheryl about, can't we just informally, because that's what I went back in the day, I would just informally call another special ed director and say, hey, we have this kid that needs this kind of program, what do you have? And
So
they'd
who's
say yes,
requiring
and
that
then
this hire be done?
Act 170.
State.
It's Act 170.
Okay.
And again, I'm sorry, I just have to go back, because it seems to me like we're not only adding a level of bureaucracy at that level, but then there's another level
Right.
above that, that's, I don't know who's
Oh,
paying that
and
salary.
And here's another killer that I think I'm right on this, I could be wrong. AOE is totally not involved.
Right.
Right.
They don't have the answers.
So
They are
who's
not
the
involved.
authoritative body?
Okay, I'll just say it.
And
This
the
is
C-
insanity.
And the CESA could be what, a
I want that on the,
501c3 or
on the
something
notes
like
with my
that?
name on
Right,
it.
it has
So it's
to-
not even governmental.
Right.
So who's the
Oh.
director of the program?
Really?
Like what person?
No
So
one.
it's a nonprofit?
So right
It's a
now,
nonprofit.
each CESA creation is independent, and it's a board, and we have a chair, a vice chair, a treasurer,
And they're all volunteers because they're already doing other work. They're not
No,
getting
it's
paid.
us.
Just the
It's the
superintendent.
superintendent.
You're not getting
right.
paid extra to do this.
No.
No.
So you're,
Nor are you having some of your other tasks taken over by
so
somebody
you're
else.
volunteering for that. Thank you.
Voluntold.
So what, I think you called it an unfunded mandate?
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
all right.
And that is, so I think, I speak for all the superintendents, but I'll speak for myself, but I know they agree. We want to follow the law,
Yeah.
but we also want to do what's right for our communities.
Right.
And right now, asking the board and communities to give, to increase our budget by however much does not seem like a reasonable request to have. But we're committed to looking at bylaws, I think our asset mapping will be huge, to see what we do have in the areas. But really, until merger committees come out with their work, we're really spinning our wheels.
Right, because it could all be out the window.
Yeah, well, there's lots of requests of people in certain merger
So-
areas want to switch merger,
Yes.
to a
What if we
different.
just don't do it?
Right, that's what I was going to ask.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
I mean, I understand you want to follow the law, but what happens if you just ignore them?
I don't think that's a good idea for her.
No, I'm not, I didn't say that it was. I was asking the
Are
question.
you asking me if I want to go to jail? No.
Well,
Well, that's kind of an answer, I guess, if that's the penalty.
I don't know that that's the penalty. I think for me, what I feel like is we're going to do what's asked of us, but with the idea of students in the forefront. What is best for students and our taxpayers, our tax base, right? Our constituents.
Right.
I'm not asking for money for this. This is
No, well,
illogical
nobody
to
thinks
me.
you are.
No, I know, but I think we have to just figure out, because I do think some good things could come out of this, right? Maybe we could find ways to save money and to consolidate our resources.
and possibly offer better services in some area.
I just don't
or
think it's
another.
happening anytime soon. Who was that?
Kimberly.
Kim, did you want to?
Oh, I found my answer. I was just trying to see if it's one-time funding for the,
Yes,
and it is, yeah. Thanks.
right. So this 50,000 is one-time funding, and then the 15,000 too is one-time funding.
So what if I wanted to apply for that job? How do I do that?
You'd have to resign from the board.
Yes.
Okay.
And first, we would have to come up with what the job is.
I'm just serious, like, who's a qualified person?
retired.
Okay. I was
Well,
just-
and I guess that would be up to the board.
Or, okay, Len, what if Len wanted to do it? I mean, what's the requirement?
They haven't
they don't
even
know yet.
gotten to that
We
point
haven't,
yet.
and I don't see
mean,
that
I do-
happening
The one thing
quickly.
I want to say, and Rich, you can join in, but that was a very smart group of people who were seeing pretty clearly what they could do and think about, and what was, they have no idea and no information. So
Right.
I think they said, all right, let's look at bylaws so we can see.
Well-meaning to respond to a directive that was unclear and ill-defined and perhaps,
Impossible.
Impossible.
Yeah.
But I think that's why they're starting with the bylaws, because that will kind of outline what
framework.
their framework. And so, yeah, that's why they're meeting monthly instead of 4 times.
And just to be
by the way,
clear,
here,
in my
Here.
comments,
Yes,
none of
here,
that was
here,
meant to be
right.
critical of you
I know.
and the other, I know, but it's good to be out
It is
in
good to
front
say.
of the
I think a lot of us are a little gobsmacked.
Yeah, it's just kind of astonishing, but good luck.
Yeah, thank you guys for going, actually, and seeing that.
And we will see, I think there's good intentions on the part of our CESA that if we can come up with something that benefits our students and our community, we're in favor of it.
Sure.
It's just not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to be a process.
You all right?
It's all right.
Okay, did you want to go over anything else
Well, let me
in
just
here?
jump into the rest of the superintendent's report.
Yeah.
So as Len mentioned, not the CESA, but the merger study, has now appointed David Younts to be the facilitator in that. And I believe there are 7 merger committees, and he is going to be in charge of those.
There's gonna
There will be
7
there will be 7 facilitators, and he'll be in charge of them.
He'll be the facilitator of the facilitators.
And there's a date set for ours.
Is there?
Yeah.
When is it?
September 24th, I believe. That's off the top of my head. There's a date set
Oh, good.
Okay.
for
I-
ours, and it is.
For our CESA?
No,
for
our merger.
Our merger committee
Oh, did
area.
Did you get a
And it
email
is,
about that?
yeah, so did you. I noticed you are on there, but
Uh-oh.
it is September 24th.
Okay. When did you get that email? I'm just going to look for it so I can,
Maybe yesterday, day before.
from,
And so what will that meeting entail?
That committee will have it's actually, in my mind, more articulated, more thought out, what their charge will be, and then they will come out with a recommendation at the end of a time to say that they wish to merge or they don't, and then it has to go before the voters in March of
2028?
2028.
I think that's right.
Yeah, so it's a long, drawn-out thing.
So
Well,
in that
That's not
case,
very
there
long.
actually is ahead of that, as opposed
There's
to.
a little bit
a
more.
lot could change.
There's a little more
15 months
structure.
away.
Structure, right, like, they know they'll have somebody to ask.
And David Younts is getting paid to do this.
Yes, he is the director, he is the facilitator of facilitators.
That's his job.
Yes.
So
Um,
when did you get that?
I'm just going to jump real quickly. I just shared with you guys, it was just a memorandum from the AOE about, it's interesting because they said, oh, this is intended for superintendents and boards members, but then they only sent it to superintendents. So it's just about the DQS and the EQS. And it's really about, I abbreviated it because it was many pages long. It's just that there will be a new system that will outline, it's a new accountability system that in theory should be more clear and should be easier for them and for everyone to determine, like, where we are having success and where we need support. Right now, it's kind of disjointed.
That's coming from the state?
Yes, the AOE. Yep.
Oh,
I don't think there's anything you need to do with it, but if you if you want to read at night, really the last line is what it is it's an initiative that is a significant shift in the state's standards regarding strategic planning and the accountability frameworks utilized by local districts.
So FYI, I just tried to open that link, and it said you have to ask permission.
Oh, okay.
And I asked permission as if, it was trying to get me in as an editor, which I don't want to be. And
Does
I said viewer, and it said I'll get an email.
Yeah.
In theory.
So let me share it. I have a bad habit of forgetting to share. Anyone in this district should be, are you using your Mill River district, your Mill River email?
Yep.
Oh, I think you might have.
I'm going to say anyone with a link, so
Okay.
you have a
Anyone
link.
with a
All right.
And then, we could not have a meeting without me talking about transportation. So, we have tried multiple ways. We have asked parents if they are not using transportation to let us know, because we wanted to double up on routes. We were willing to provide supervision at the schools, having kids get there at 7 in the morning. We landed on, at this point, we need to, so Wallingford South will be canceled for 6 days. And then Tinmouth at this point is canceled. We do have 7 drivers, and that's like the difficult part for people. We had a new hire who was moving forward. He was unable to be medically cleared, so we had to terminate. We had a new hire. She's all set to go, and she's going. We have another new hire who's in the process of getting a school bus endorsement. The person has their CDL, but there's a lot of other things that have to happen to get the endorsement. They have to, I'm learning more than I ever thought I would know. They have to pass 3 written tests, and then they need 2 weeks minimum in between where they are driving the bus around with someone, and then they can take the test. But the state has indicated that they are not guaranteeing that they would be able to, that they have the manpower to give the test, and that there is currently a backlog. They also, so there's a lot that, so it's not like I just hire somebody, do a background check, and then they're on the road. It's a process, and these people have CDLs. We also have an employee that we're waiting for medical clearance. So our plan at this point is to cancel one for 6 days. Tinmouth at this point, we're up in the air. With any good luck, we're talking the end of September. We also have the potential for a local contracting company to, because they're in the same boat, that they've got people they're onboarding, and they said if we can get them through, we will then have someone for you. So if that happens, we're going to contract with them, and we are going to do that. I have to tell you, it has been up and down. It's day by day. That's the
Sounds
only
like a
way I can
nightmare.
explain it. Somewhat, yes. And, you know, I do understand that gentleman's concern. I also, you know, I'm kind of sad he left because I did want to share with him. I know that we have community members in Tinmouth that are working together to
Like
carpool. And also, it's not nice to say, but it is the law. In Vermont, we are not mandated to provide transportation. The board, you know, wants to, so that's what we're doing. But I just cannot, I just can't man it right away.
We have a policy on it.
Yes, we have policy, yes. And that would have to be a change, but the board would have to change the policy. But I'm saying that state law does not mandate transportation.
Did I understand that he was requesting mileage for driving his kid to school?
Yes.
So if he got that, then any other parent, okay, just, I want to make sure I was not.
Yeah. I am likely, I'll probably reach out to him to ask him if there's any other parents. I did get a few
That he can work
emails
with?
that they can work with. We've said, I've directed them to Shawnee.
Yeah, he got this number and
If,
everything on here.
oh, good. If they cannot, so if they can get their child to, say, Wallingford, right? We have a Wallingford bus that then will go to Mill River. So, like, as long as we have a seat, then we're going to put the student on the bus. We just don't have a bus that's going to go through Tinmouth right now and transport kids.
Can I ask a question? Just from what I was hearing him, since transportation is a topic now, it sounded like he had to get his kid to Tinmouth Elementary. But wouldn't the bus pick up his kid at their house? I mean, if the regular bus run, do all the Mill River kids have to go to Tinmouth to get on the bus? Or do they get picked up just like the elementary kids?
They do unless they are in Middletown. And if
Okay,
they are in Middletown, then they go to Tinmouth.
right, because,
And then we transport from Tinmouth to
right,
MRU.
okay, so I
Is that
wonder if
correct?
he's, because
No.
it says he
Okay,
has
Jody
a,
says I'm wrong.
it's a Pollitt.
Correct me.
Well, he's Tinmouth, but his address is Pollitt, Tinmouth Mountain Drive, so it must be over on the other side. So
So it's really at the
But if he
outer
would-
extreme of the district.
if he was at the elementary school, he would get a ride.
So when all of our buses are running, we go all around Tinmouth and pick up all around.
All
I
around.
think what he's saying is in our current plan, we have a plan to pick up the high schoolers from Tinmouth Elementary.
No, we don't.
No,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry,
It
never
is
mind.
so confusing that we have gone back and forth.
We are everywhere.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
hopefully when all the buses
I
are
will try.
running, maybe he doesn't, I mean, I just want to make sure
So
he
we will not
understands
have a
his,
bus in Tinmouth, period.
For a while.
for a while.
Yes, but I mean, like, there will be no bus until we get one. It's not hitting Tinmouth at all.
Would it be worth making, doing a front porch forum or something, just update about transportation, and I mean, in a nice way.
Well, I did
Saying how much
update all
is
the
being, but also
community
stating
members.
that it is not actually required by state law.
That was put out there, and I did update the community on Friday, saying that this is our only option at this point. And I'm feeling positive about getting a local contractor, not enough to commit to it, though.
Right.
So I can't.
You don't want to make promises. You
I'm not
can't
making
keep.
promises.
Let's burn twice shy.
Yeah. But I do know, there actually was a parent on the Tinmouth Front Porch Forum who did say, we're trying to figure out carpools, reach out to me.
Okay.
That's great. And to whatever extent you can amplify that out would be great. We can't, as a board, be hemming and hawing about absenteeism
Right.
and then turning our back to those who are saying, well, I can't get here, We have
And
to.
I know it's an imposition for parents, right?
Yeah.
Their work schedule revolves around having their child in school at a certain time and either before or after care. So, the decision wasn't made lightly,
No, I understand.
yeah. But the end result is still, it's an impact on parents.
It is interesting with all this discussion about mergers, because it would only make it so much worse. I mean, this is already just a killer.
We can't keep track right now as we're trying to figure out where the bus is
Imagine
going.
if your school district had
It's okay, AI will figure it out for you.
There you go.
Okay, Kim?
Yeah, I'm making an assumption, but what I was kind of hearing too from the parent, and I'm sorry I missed his name, is perhaps like a concern of just added living expenses too. So I'm wondering if there's an opportunity to encourage our building principals to, and I know they do this, but just to make sure, like at the open house, maybe offer what resources are out there for families too. So I know the Rutland County Parent-Child Center tabled at Mill River last year for the open house, and there's an awesome food pantry that they have, right? So things like that were ways in which we can resource families to kind of just knowing that there's a lot of additional living expenses right now for a lot of households.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, anything else, Cheryl?
Nope.
Okay.
And one day, I will not talk about transportation,
All
I
right.
promise.
I don't believe you.
All right, and then Sarah's going to bring a
believe
cake if
myself.
that happens.
Yeah, there you go, I want cake.
All right. Committee reports, personnel, Mr. Doucette.
Want me to do these
Yeah.
contracts?
Yes, please.
Okay. I can do that. We didn't meet. Our next meeting is September 2nd, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do have some contracts. Speaking of, offer Amelia Sass a contract as bus driver. And so I would make that a motion because we're not in committee, so I would make that a motion.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second, or after
Okay.
you got it.
Discussion?
Any discussions? Is she starting right away?
Yep,
All right. Okay,
she's ready to go.
all in favor? Stephen, you good? Oh, he's up there. I gotta take my glasses off to see. Thank you. All right.
Next, offer Tyler Brown a position as long-term substitute for middle school ELA, English Language Arts, 1.0 full-time equivalency. I'll make that a motion.
Okay, second. Okay, Matt, any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Unanimous?
Okay, next, I'd like to make a motion to offer Lucy Birch a contract, 1.0 full-time equivalency, educational support staff.
Okay. Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Okay. Unanimous? Yep. Okay.
And lastly, I make a motion that we accept the resignation of Christina Doty as she's a special education paraeducator. So I make that motion that we accept the resignation.
Okay, second. Gray, any discussion? Does it have exit interview, or
No, it does not.
have we gotten to that? Yeah.
No, because I went to respond to her to ask about an exit interview, and her email was already deactivated.
Okay.
So, but I am happy to reach out.
Okay,
Yeah, because it's interesting to know what, just,
I'm aware of the circumstances.
okay, so
Okay.
it's not a mystery.
No.
all right.
Again, accept the superintendent's authority here with,
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. We talked about offering an exit interview, if, if she can reach out and say, hey, do you want to have an exit interview? And if she says yes, great. If she says no, great. All good.
Yep.
Okay. All in favor? All right, unanimous.
That's something to think about, because I know they delete the email fairly quickly. And the exit survey, not the exit interview, the exit survey was designed for them to fill out at some later date.
Right.
And so we need to talk about that.
Yeah, maybe you
I'll
could,
just leave it there.
we'll let the superintendent
Yep.
see if they can extend that
Yeah.
a little bit before. Okay.
That's it.
Anything, and your next meeting is
September,
2nd, we said, right?
I think so. The first Wednesday in September.
Yeah, before the first meeting,
Whatever that
at
may be.
6 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, policy. Rich?
so policy did not meet, although we were scheduled to meet, and I'll take that on as I did not we did not have a quorum that day because we tried to meet online.
'Cause it was summer.
It was summer, yeah, and,
It's because some of us are brain dead.
well,
That too.
yeah.
That's not seasonable for me, though.
with you.
No, man, the truth hurts.
So, what we didn't get to discuss, so September, typically we meet on the second Tuesday, that would be September 8th. However, with my teaching schedule, I cannot meet at 6 any longer, which is it, and if we're going to do 6:30, I could only meet online. If I'm going to be here in person, it needs to be 7. So I think
Why don't you
do
call
we
it?
have the policy committee folks?
Why don't you call it for that, and
Okay.
then
Call it for
hopefully.
7?
Yeah, call it for 7, then your committee can meet and decide a different time.
I'm okay with
would
that.
work better.
Okay, so September 8th,
good.
so our next meeting will be September 8th at 7 PM. I would prefer to be able to be here in person, so
Yeah,
that would be ideal. Okay,
Me too.
and then you guys can pick, whatever day and time you want.
that's fair.
Okay, building and grounds, Josh,
I can just tell you the next meeting
it's the
is,
31st of
yes, August 31st at 5
5
PM.
o'clock, yeah, and we haven't met, so. And negotiations, that's Josh as well. I think you guys are
No
still
news.
working on it.
Yep.
Okay, finance, pay orders, and Stephen? Do you want to do the pay orders?
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
That's a yes. All right, I'll start with the payroll warrants, the pay orders. August 14th, in the amount of $148,941.22, and August 14th, in the amount of $38,264.43, for a total of $187,205.65. I'll make a motion to accept these payroll orders. Second?
Rich seconded. Any discussion?
Second.
Rich seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Unanimous?
All right, thank you. And our AP warrants. First one in the amount of $434,545.97, and the second in the amount of $120,696.48, for a total of $555,242.45. And our student activities, we had Mill River, in the amount of $592, and Clarendon in the amount of $225, for a total there of $817. Make a motion to accept these accounts payable warrants. Do you have a second?
Okay. So Stephen made the motion, Rich seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous? Okay.
All right, thank you. Our next meeting, we've got a meeting coming up on the 31st. Yes, 31st at 6. We'll be talking about starting to get going on the fiscal year 28 budget, maybe taking a look at that calendar as well. Yeah, we'll see you there. Thank you.
Community engagement isn't on here, but Sarah, do you want to
Yeah, I
talk
do.
about your meeting?
Yeah, so I know we haven't done a community engagement committee meeting for quite some time because we were waiting till we had a topic that seemed like it was important enough to get interest from the community. So we are going to have assuming everybody can do it, a meeting on September 16th before the board meeting, so at 6 o'clock. And at that time, we're going to really put our heads together and start trying to engage the community in discussions about merger talks. And so that's going to be our real focus, is putting together an outreach to the community and make sure that they're fully involved in this discussion. So people are welcome to bring ideas. I don't know if that works for everybody. I know it's been a while.
Well, I just want to make sure. So Sarah, here's who I have on community engagement, since you guys haven't met. Sarah, Matt, Kim, Ned, and Rich? Okay. So those are the committee members.
And then, assuming that it works for everybody, we're going to aim for doing a community conversations in October with using what we come up with in September.
And by
Basically
that
a forum.
time, the merger committee will have met, so I doubt we'll have much information, but we can at least report out on that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't hear the date. Is it the 16th?
Yes.
September, yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. Is that, what was the Shrewsbury Open House Day again?
15,
wasn't it?
oh, here it is. Shrewsbury, yes, the 15th of September.
Cool, thank you.
Okay. Any other legal business? Anybody have anything?
Go ahead, but I want to add something. It's not legal, but.
Okay, it's not legal.
It's illegal.
Well, I don't know. Just warning, I guess, we need to start thinking about the superintendent evaluation,
Yep.
because that needs to be done by January.
Yeah, we have a timeline that we
We,
Do you need a pen?
wrote out, so I'm going to have to look at that timeline. There's my pen. Okay, I'll write that.
I guess my second question would be,
Who has the timeline?
because we don't have an ad hoc committee anymore, are we going to reestablish an ad hoc committee? Or how's that going to work?
Okay, so does anybody, I'm going to look and see if I can find, I think it would be in the letter that we did, the report, the public report we did on the results of the superintendent evaluation. And we put out a timeline. So let me check that. let's put it on for the next, it'll be a quick agenda item, I'll just,
Yeah,
Will we-
because
yeah, no.
we need to, and I know in the past it was personnel that did it. Last year it was the ad hoc. So as personnel chair, I don't want
you don't want to shirk your duties?
to, if I have any, or else is it someone else's duty and I can applaud them.
Well,
and
I
wish
think
them well.
I think we said that you would, I forget what the wording is, but.
We'll have to find out, that's all.
Do just what you're doing. Facilitate it, make sure it happens, yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
I want to give a quick shout out. When I do my bike riding, I often stop and rest at Clarendon Elementary in the little garden area. And there is an employee who takes care of that. Saturday was out there just working away, and it's beautiful, and she does it with just such great spirit. And it's just, it's something I think that gets missed, that, nobody's teaching because it's a great gig. They're teaching because they love it. They're in the schools because they love it, and we forget that, but they also put in a lot of extra stuff that goes unseen, so I don't know her name, and I apologize.
Does she have long gray hair?
She has long gray hair, and she's the assistant to, I think, the principal.
Yes, her name is Crystal Gibbs.
Crystal
And
Gibbs.
So shout out to Crystal Gibbs, and,
For
they look
gardening
great.
on a Saturday.
She-
Good
Yeah,
for her.
on a Saturday, and she's saying, oh, it's let go, and I think it looks great, so.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, just a note, the history of that garden was, oh God, I want to say, like 88, 89. We had a Russian exchange program in the district. And as part of that, that group that had organized that exchange program established the Clarendon Peace Garden. That's why it's called the Peace Garden. And so it started with, people just community members just bringing plants from their garden. And Jean Murray, who was the school secretary before Crystal, was the one who basically maintained it. And so Crystal, I think, is following in her spirit. But yeah, you're right, it's beautiful. And it is a nice place to sit and ponder peace, really.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
Can I add one thing, too?
Yeah, sure.
So I would like to formally invite you all to our convocation, which will now be Friday at 1 p.m. And you are also welcome to come at noon. We have a luncheon for all of the staff. You are welcome to join us.
This Friday?
Did you
Yes.
say 1 p.m. for the convocation?
Convocation is 1 p.m. A luncheon is at noon.
Okay.
You want to explain what convocation is?
Oh, yeah, that's funny. That's not a Vermont term.
No,
I'm
No,
just forgetting.
it's in higher ed.
It is
is
in
it
college,
It's
but
used in higher ed
Yes.
as the.
It's always been used in what I'm used to.
Okay.
So it's essentially, it's our big welcome back. I will give a speech, hopefully inspiring. We will we will recognize staff, both staff that have been here and new staff. We will talk about, there will be speeches for Teacher of the Year and Staff Member of the Year that will be announced. And it's a nice opportunity. If you're available, please feel free to join us.
What day again?
You
It is
book in the
Friday.
academic year with convocation at the beginning and then commencement at the end.
Oh, yeah,
I always
yeah.
thought convocation was at the end, but.
It's just the opening day.
Yeah, it's sort of a welcome.
Nice.
That's how I think of it. And that's just the term that I've always heard. But I like that, convocation to commencement. So luncheon at noon, convocation at 1.
And the day again?
This Friday.
This coming Friday?
Yes.
Day after tomorrow.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, agenda building, we will follow the superintendent eval, and then we can go to the schedule and see what we have on there. Will we,
E2 budget calendar,
okay,
I will share,
and the goals.
and board goals, and then D2 for PD and G1 curriculum.
Okay,
And that will be,
Jody.
Jody presents that.
Okay, that sounds full. Follow up on transportation, never mind, I won't even say it. That goes without saying. All right. Anything else for the good of the order? If not, I'll motion to adjourn. Nobody wants to go home?
So moved.
Okay. All in favor? Vote with your feet. Thank you, everybody.